A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. Charles Darwin. You sit in the cold silence of a 17th-century study. The shutters are closed. A candle burns, its flame trembling in the draught. One man, wrapped in a heavy cloak, is waging war, not against kings, nor against armies, but against his own thoughts. His name is René Descartes. He believes that everything he sees, everything he touches, even his own body, could be an illusion. He tears reality apart, stripping it down to the bone, searching for one thing: certainty. And yet, in this obsessive search for clarity, something begins to break. Descartes becomes trapped in the echo chamber of his own mind. He trusts nothing, not even his senses. He becomes a prisoner of his own intellect, hammering at the walls of doubt, desperate to find solid ground. Centuries later, a different voice rises. David Hume. Where Descartes mistrusts the body, Hume leans into it. Where Descartes demands proof, Hume surrenders to the raw rhythm of experience. He says, "You don't live by logic alone. You live by habit, by instinct, by repetition. You believe the sun will rise tomorrow not because you proved it, but because you've lived it 1,000 times." Two men, two visions. One hunts certainty, the other hunts survival. Here, in Legend's Legacy, we don't just study names etched in books. We breathe their battles, their doubts, their triumphs. Because their legacies are not dead, they are alive in you. In every decision you make, you stand between Descartes and Hume, between the prison of overthinking and the freedom of instinct. Which voice rules your life? Certainty or habit? Fortress or river? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if this journey grips you, subscribe for more legacies that still burn in our bones. Conquer yourself rather than the world. René Descartes. You stand before a fortress. Its walls are cold stone, towering and impenetrable. The gates are sealed, guarded by logic, by proofs, by meticulous arguments. This is Descartes' mind. A fortress designed to protect against deception, illusion, chaos. Inside, every brick is carefully placed. I think, therefore I am, the one foundation that cannot be doubted. Safety lies within, but so does isolation. To live here is to distrust the world outside the walls. Now turn your gaze. The fortress fades, and in its place you hear the rush of water. A river flows endlessly, carrying leaves, carrying soil, carrying you with it. This is Hume's mind. Not a prison of certainty, but a current of experience. The river does not prove, it flows. It does not ask for absolute truth. It teaches through rhythm, repetition, memory. Habit is its law. Trust is its current. Descartes' fortress promises strength but breeds suspicion. Every step requires proof. Every breath demands justification. Hume's river, by contrast, refuses to pause for permission. It simply moves, teaching you to swim or drown. And here lies the haunting question: which mind survives the storms of life? The fortress may hold for a time, but when the enemy is within, your own doubts, its walls can collapse inward. The river may sweep you off your feet, yet it also carries you forward, adapting, shifting, alive. Carl Jung once said, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." Descartes builds a fortress with words. Hume flows in the doing. Both visions are seductive. Both carry danger. You, standing between them, must choose. Will you build walls of certainty or surrender to the current of habit? He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. Friedrich Nietzsche. Think of the nights you've lain awake, thoughts spiraling like a storm without end. You rehearse conversations, predict outcomes, chase certainty in a future that never answers back. That is Descartes alive in you, the voice that says nothing can be trusted until it is proven. The fortress rises in your skull, and you pace its empty halls, haunted by the demand for absolute control. But pause. Step onto the battlefield, or into the athlete's arena. Here, proof is useless. You cannot calculate every sword swing, every muscle twitch, every heartbeat. You do not think, you act. The soldier's instinct saves him before reason wakes. The dancer's body knows the rhythm long before the mind explains it. The boxer who waits to analyze the punch is already on the ground. This is Hume alive in you, the wisdom of repetition, the silent memory of the body. Descartes' logic is powerful, but it drags you toward paralysis, the kind of overthinking that drowns possibility. Hume whispers, trust the training. Your instincts are not blind. They are ancient libraries, written in sweat, blood, and survival. The body remembers faster than reason can prove. The danger, of course, is imbalance. A mind addicted to certainty freezes. A body ruled only by habit becomes a slave to impulse. Yet in our world of anxiety, endless choices, and infinite information, it is not certainty we lack. It is the courage to trust our own instincts. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Overthinking paralyzes. Action transforms. So ask yourself, when the decisive moment comes, will you stay in the fortress of thought or move with the river of instinct? In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. Sun Tzu. Picture Napoleon at Austerlitz. The morning fog blinds the battlefield, maps are useless, reports contradictory. Logic cannot calculate every possibility. Yet instinct, honed by years of habit, by the memory of countless marches and battles, guides him. He trusts not in absolute certainty, but in the rhythm of experience. The river of Hume flows through his strategy. Now recall Galileo before the Inquisition. Here, certainty is not a luxury but a weapon. To claim the earth moves around the sun, he needed the unshakable stones of proof. In the fortress of Descartes, Galileo might have found shelter, logic, and clarity as armor against tyranny. In this moment, certainty gave courage. The lesson is not simple. Certainty builds revolutions of thought, but instinct wins revolutions on the ground. A general cannot afford to freeze in rational calculation, yet a scientist cannot afford to leap blindly into conjecture. Even in modern life, you live this tension. The surgeon who prepares through years of study must, in the decisive cut, trust the hand that has repeated the motion thousands of times. The entrepreneur who studies markets can calculate endlessly, but survival depends on the leap, the instinct to act when the numbers remain uncertain. Hume shows us that habit shapes survival. Descartes warns us that without certainty, the ground beneath may collapse. Both are right. Both are dangerous. As you stand in your own battles, choices of love, of career, of identity, you must ask, when does your life require the fortress, and when must you surrender to the river? Because in the end, it is not just philosophy. It is survival. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Aristotle. Now the question turns inward. The fortress and the river are not abstract. They live inside you. Every time you hesitate, analyzing every possible outcome, you are Descartes' child. Every time you act without thinking, guided by rhythm and memory, you are Hume's heir. The struggle between them is the struggle of your own life. When you wake in the morning, do you demand certainty before moving forward? Or do you trust the momentum of your routines, the instincts written deep in your bones? Neither path is pure. Too much fortress, and you suffocate. Too much river, and you are swept away. The art of living is to know when to question and when to act, when to demand proof and when to leap. History whispers to you. Descartes carved a fortress that defended reason against chaos. Hume released a river that taught us trust in the ordinary flow of life. Both legacies remain in your hands. And this is where Legend's legacy leaves you. Not with answers, but with the fire of their questions burning in your chest. Will you keep hunting certainty, or will you train your instincts? Will you be the prisoner of endless analysis, or the warrior who moves with the rhythm of life? The choice is yours. But remember, every action you take writes your legacy. Tell me, whose vision speaks to you more? Descartes' fortress or Hume's river? Share your thoughts below, because your struggle is part of this living legacy. And if these voices of the past awaken something in you, subscribe, so together we can walk through history's shadows and carry its fire into our own lives. This is Legend's legacy. Where the past does not rest, it lives within you.